Have you ever heard of opposites attract? That is why an empath attracts a narcissist. It's an opposites attract situation. A narcissist and an empath are both wounded people. They share the same core wounds. However, it's like they react or respond differently to their wounds. So an empath and a narcissist are at the opposite ends of the spectrum. And this is why they end up attracting each other. So a narcissist tend to build defense mechanisms around their wounds, often by seeking external validation, control, and superiority. They react to their wounds by creating a false sense of self-importance, using others to fulfill their emotional needs and protect themselves from feelings of inadequacy or fear of abandonment. Empaths tend to react to similar wounds by becoming highly attuned to the needs of others. They often suppress their own needs and emotions in favor of others, seeking validation or love through helping, caring, and pleasing others. They may overcompensate for their own feelings of inadequacy by focusing on others to feel needed or appreciated. Now, an empath attracts a narcissist because of the energy dynamics that are at play. So they're both wounded people. They share the same core wounds, but they've responded differently to those wounds. So they're at the opposite ends of the spectrum. A narcissist, they're selfish and self-centered, whereas an empath is selfless. Narcissists are takers. Empaths are givers. Narcissists are all me, and my needs. Empaths are you. They're all about everyone else. A narcissist is emotionally detached, whereas the empath is emotionally attuned. Narcissists are people users, so they manipulate, exploit, and take advantage of others to fulfill their own needs and seek validation. And the empath is a people pleaser, so they please and serve others to gain approval, love, and validation. So this is why they attract each other. Both are manipulative. So you might think, how is an empath manipulative? It's not quite in the same way as a narcissist. Narcissists are very manipulative people. The way an empath is manipulative is because of their people-pleasing mentality. So the people-pleasing behavior is a manipulative behavior. Again, it's still not in the same way that a narcissist manipulates, right? But it's because as a people pleaser, you're going out of your way to please other people, but there's an underlying reason for why you're doing it. You're wanting something in return, and it's usually their love, validation, and approval. So you may do nice things for others, not just to be nice and to do a nice thing. You're doing it because I want their love, validation, and approval back because I need it. That is why it's a manipulative behavior. So the key, if you're an empath, because I'm the empath type, the people-pleasing type that's been attracting these narcissists, if you are like me, an empath with the people-pleasing mentality, I am going to provide tips in this video to help you stop attracting these narcissists. So I was attracting narcissists without realizing all of this. I didn't know I was an empath. I didn't know I was people-pleasing. I didn't even know what narcissism was until I was in a relationship with one, or until I left the relationship. So back in, I think it was 2013, we got together. I got with this guy, and we broke up in, I think, 2016. I was with him for about 2.5 years, and it was a domestic violent relationship. It ended with me getting punched over, and I knew it was coming. I was getting prepared to leave because I knew it was coming, but the relationship ended with him punching me over, and then I called the cops and got him arrested and taken out of my house because we were both living here, but this was my house, so I got him taken out of my house and never saw him again, and he got charged for it. And so yeah, he gave me a decent black eye. And after that relationship, like once it had ended, that's when I learned about narcissism, because I didn't know what it was. I had no idea it was a thing. I didn't know people were like this. And when I learned what narcissism was, that's when I realized that's exactly what I was dealing with in this relationship. Because as I was dealing with it, like, I didn't know what it was. Narcissists, they like to make you think you're the problem. And the problem with that for me was I had the same problem with my parents. They would treat me as if I was always the problem. So it's, when your own parents treat you like that, and then you get into a relationship with someone like that, you believe you are the problem because it's already been kind of like ingrained into you by your parents. And so the other thing I've learned about relationships is that you can be attracting in relationships that mirror your relationship that you had with your parents. This is like a psychology thing, right? So I didn't have a good relationship with either of my parents. It wasn't a positive, loving, supportive type of relationship. And then I realized with the guys that the narcissistic guys I was attracting, there was a very similar energy dynamic playing out that was mirroring the energy dynamic between me and my parents. So you're attracting the same people, same energy, different face or different person, right? So for me, what helped was just becoming aware that, oh, I'm an empath, I'm people pleasing and I shouldn't be doing this. The key for both the empath and narcissist is to become more balanced in the middle, right? To do your healing work, healing the wounds, so you can become more centered. So some people are naturally already centered. Like they don't have the same sort of wounds because they most likely had a better upbringing with loving, supportive parents. They would have had their needs met. So they're naturally already here. Like they don't need to do this sort of work. A narcissist won't do this sort of work because they believe everyone else is the problem and it's not them. So they're not going to be the types of people to do this work. So this is why it's up to the empaths to do the work, to become more balanced in the middle, so that you can stop attracting this type of energy in. And the other interesting thing about this dynamic is that a narcissist could learn from the empath and the empath could learn from the narcissist. So you can actually be teaching each other or learning from each other. A narcissist needs to learn to be more empathetic and have more compassion for others, be a bit less selfish, more selfless. And the empath needs to learn from a narcissist how to be a bit more selfish, to start putting themselves first sometimes instead of everyone else. So again, I'm going to provide tips in this video for the empath to help you become more balanced. And then once you do this, it's going to shift your energy. As your energy shifts, you'll stop attracting in these types of people and you'll start attracting in more healthier relationships. So let's get into the tips. Tip number 1, recognize red flags early on. This will save you a lot of trouble, a lot of wasted time and energy. So red flags could be love bombing. So that's one of the things that a narcissist will do early on in the relationship, is they will love bomb you. Gaslighting, a lack of empathy, a pattern of manipulation, lack of accountability, and no respect for boundaries. If you notice these little red flags, take it as the sign to just walk away. There's no point wasting any more time and energy on someone that has these red flags. The second tip is to stop people pleasing. So the empaths usually will people please, and the reason they do that, like I've already mentioned, is to get love, validation, and approval from others. And so when you look for those things from other people, you disempower yourself. The way you take your power back is by becoming your own source of love, validation, and approval. That is the key. That is the game changer. Start giving yourself those things so that you don't seek it from other people. The third tip is to set boundaries. Now, this is because the people-pleasing empath, are people that usually don't have boundaries. So setting boundaries is how you teach others how to treat you. And what I would recommend is to set boundaries in a new relationship as a way to test that person, to test how they respond to the boundary. If they respect your boundary, that's a green flag. If they don't respect your boundary, if they, try to overstep that boundary, then that's the red flag. That's the sign to walk away from that person. And so I'm going to share with you one of my boundaries that I have decided to have as a way to test people. Now, after I was in the relationship with the narcissist that punched me over, I was single for 5 years. I wasn't interested in another relationship. And then I ended up getting with someone that I was friends with for 5 years. This happened I think about 3 years ago now, right? So this person was another narcissist. I attracted another one. And that experience, because this person I was friends with for 5 years and I thought they were a good person I could trust, that person did me dirty. They screwed me over. And so after that experience, I decided to have this new boundary where you have to date me for 3 months, for at least 3 months before I even think about getting in bed with you. That is going to be my boundary to test people. If they don't respect it, that's cool. That means I just have to walk away. So I would encourage you to do something similar. Have a boundary and use it as a way to test people. Now, my fourth tip is to heal your wounds, because you're both wounded people. You both need healing, right? And what I'll do is I'll link a video at the end of this one that will teach you more about healing your wounds, how to do the inner work, the shadow work, and the healing. It's really important to heal your wounds. So for me, I had the abandonment wound. So that can be a common wound that both the narcissist and empaths have. Now, abandonment could be physical abandonment, where your parent was physically not around, or there could be emotional abandonment. So your parent may have been around, but emotionally they weren't there for you. And I had both. I had physical abandonment from my dad and then emotional abandonment from my mum. So healing these wounds is important. And then what happened for me, when I attracted in the second narcissist, because I thought I did the work, and I attracted another one, I was like, hang on a minute, I haven't done the work. I didn't heal my abandonment wound like I thought I did. So once I had that realization, I went to work to heal the abandonment wound. And I healed it. I felt that shift within me. And so yes, I recommend to do your healing work because as you heal these wounds, release them, it's going to shift your energy. Because remember, it's an energy dynamic that's at play. So as your energy starts shifting, then you're going to start attracting different people that mirror that energy. Now, number 5, this is a really important one, and that is to embody worthiness. Empaths and people pleasers tend to lack self-worth. Now, what I mean by embody worthiness, and this is something I learned from Dr. Joe Dispenza. The key is what Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches is that your body memorizes emotions. So your body can memorize unworthiness. And it's a program that's in the body. So in order to change this program, it's about reconditioning the body to feel a new positive emotion. So you can recondition the body to feel worthy. And you do this in meditation. So go into a meditative state. Get in as deep as you can because you want your brain waves to drop. And then while you're in a meditative state, you can just start feeling worthiness in your body. And by feeling the worthiness in your body while in a meditative state, you're conditioning your body to memorize this emotion. And the key is consistency. It's repetition, right? Doing it every single day. Meditate, feel worthiness in your body every single day. And over time, it's going to become a new program. It's going to become a new emotion that your body memorizes. So you'll notice yourself naturally start to feel worthy. So I recommend that practice because that will be a repellent that will keep these narcissists away. The last tip I have is to surround yourself with healthy people. Surround yourself with people that respect your boundaries, that care for you, that support you. When you surround yourself with healthy, positive people, you'll start noticing what a healthy relationship looks like. And so if you have a narcissist turn up in your life, you'll be able to catch out their energy dynamics, and you'll notice that this isn't a healthy relationship or a healthy person to be around. So you'll notice to cut them off. So those are my 6 tips. I highly recommend incorporating all those tips and doing the work so that you stop attracting these people. Because as you shift your energy, as you work on your worthiness, you shed that people-pleasing mentality, you give yourself love, validation, and approval, you have boundaries, this energy is what will cause you to attract a healthy partner in. We want to be attracting those green flags, right? Not the red flags. So if you got value out of this video, just let me know by hitting the like button or write a comment. If you like this sort of content, personal development, spirituality, psychology, quantum physics, neuroscience, all that good stuff, then hit the subscribe and the bell notification. And I'll leave a follow-up video if you want to learn more about how to heal from your wounds. I highly recommend watching it. Have an awesome day. Peace.